The Israel-Palestine conflict is one of the most enduring and emotionally charged conflicts in the world, deeply affecting the lives of millions. It spans over a century, with roots in the late 19th century, when the region was part of the Ottoman Empire. The collapse of the British control, marking a significant shift, saw the rise of two competing national movements. Zionism, advocating for a Jewish homeland in seeking self-determination for the Arab population already living there. Both movements grew in strength and influence. Tensions escalated during Jewish and Arab communities as both sides sought to assert their claims. The British, unable to find a solution acceptable to both sides, handed the problem over to the newly formed United Nations in 1947, hoping for an international resolution. The East for decades to come, beginning with the first Arab of this historical backdrop are still felt today as modern-day demonstrations and border tensions illustrate the ongoing struggle. Understanding this complex history is crucial to grasping the deeply rooted issues that continue to fuel the conflict, providing context to the current situation. And in 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan to divide Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab. This plan aimed to address the growing tensions and conflicting national aspirations in the region. This plan was who saw it as unjust and a violation of Palestinian rights. The rejection stemmed from deep-seated fears and historical grievances, leading to widespread protests and unrest. Israel declared its independence. This declaration was a moment of triumph for the Jewish community, marking the establishment of a long-sought homeland. This declaration triggered the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, a conflict that resulted in Israel's victory and the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their homes. The war left a lasting impact on the region, with destroyed cities and shattered lives. This event is known as the Nakba, meaning catastrophe in Arabic, and it remains. The memories of displacement and the struggle for a homeland continue to resonate through generations. The 1948 war solidified Israel's existence, but also sowed the seeds of future conflict. The aftermath of the war created a complex and enduring struggle over land, identity, and sovereignty. The unresolved issues of Palestinian refugees, the status of Jerusalem, and the control of land remain at the heart of ongoing tensions and efforts for peace in the region. The mass displacement of Palestinians during the 1948 war. This tragic event marked the beginning of a long and painful journey for many Palestinian families. Over 700,000 Palestinians left behind their homes, lands, and livelihoods. Remains a deeply traumatic and defining experience. The stories of those who lived through the conditions in refugee camps are often harsh, with limited access. Refugee camps denied basic rights and opportunities. Peace negotiations, with Israel rejecting any solution. Serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of the conflict. It is a symbol of loss, resilience, and should be envisioned for all. The issue of land lies at the heart of the Israel-Palestine conflict. The borders between Israel and a future Palestinian state remain a major point of contention. Since 1967, Israel has occupied the West Bank and East Jerusalem, areas captured during the Six-Day War, and has established settlements there. These settlements are considered illegal under international law and are a major obstacle to peace. They are seen by Palestinians as land grabs, fragmenting their territory and making a contiguous and viable Palestinian state increasingly difficult to achieve. The expansion of settlements continues to fuel tensions and undermine the possibility of a two-state solution. Addressing this issue is crucial for resolving the conflict. Section 5. Jerusalem, a city divided, a conflict ignited. Jerusalem, a city sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike, stands as a microcosm of the conflict's complexity. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim Jerusalem as their capital, making it one of the most sensitive issues in the conflict. Israel captured East Jerusalem, which contains many holy sites, in 1967, and later annexed it, a move not recognized by the international community. The status of Jerusalem, particularly the control of religious sites, remains a constant source of tension and violence. Finding a solution for Jerusalem that respects the rights and claims of both Israelis and Palestinians is essential for achieving a lasting peace. Section 6. Refugees and the right of return, a human tragedy, endures. The plight of found political implications. Millions of Palestinians in neighboring countries denied basic rights and opportunities. The right of return for these refugees to their homes, key demand of the Palestinian leadership and a major obstacle in peace negotiations. Israel rejects the right of return, arguing that it would threaten the country's Jewish character and demographic balance. This impasse over the refugee issue remains a major stumbling block to achieving a just and lasting peace. Addressing the humanitarian needs of Palestinian refugees and finding a just and equitable solution to their plight is essential for achieving a sustainable peace in the region. Characterized by a tragic and seemingly endless cycle of violence. Periods of relative calm are often punctuated by outbreaks of violence, leaving a trail of death and destruction on both sides. From the Second Intifada, a Palestinian uprising in the early 2000s, to the recent conflicts in Gaza, violence has had a devastating Israeli airstrikes and military incursions have resulted in the loss of innocent lives and exacerbated existing tensions. Breaking this cycle of violence is crucial for creating an environment conducive to peace and reconciliation. Section 8. International Responses, a search for peace amidst partisanship. The international community has long been involved in efforts to resolve the Israel-Palestine conflict. The United States, in particular, plays a significant role as a mediator and a key ally of Israel. However, despite numerous peace initiatives and negotiations, a lasting solution remains elusive. The international community is divided on how to best achieve peace. Some countries strongly support Israel's right to exist within secure borders, while others are critical of Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories. This lack of consensus has hampered efforts to find a lasting solution. A more unified and balanced approach from the international community is needed to break the deadlock and achieve a just and lasting peace. Section 9. The two-state solution, a fading hope. The two-state solution, which envisions an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel, has long been the preferred framework for resolving the conflict. However, the viability of this solution has been increasingly questioned in recent years. The continued expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank, the lack of trust between the two sides, and the absence of a credible peace process have cast doubt on the possibility of achieving a two-state solution. If the two-state solution is to remain viable, urgent action is needed to halt settlement expansion, revive negotiations, and build trust between the two sides. Section 10. Looking ahead. uncertainty and the urgency for peace. The future of the Israel-Palestine conflict remains uncertain. The current situation is characterized by a lack of trust, ongoing violence, and a political stalemate. However, despite the challenges, the need for peace has never been more urgent. Finding a solution that addresses the core issues of the conflict, such as borders, settlements, Jerusalem, refugees, and security, is essential for both Israelis and Palestinians to live in peace and security. The path to peace will require courageous leadership, painful compromises, and a commitment to dialogue and reconciliation. The international community must play a constructive role in supporting these efforts and holding all sides accountable for their actions. The human cost of this conflict demands nothing less than a tireless pursuit of peace.